Ho, ho, ho. Merry Spotmas. No.
That's solid.
Okay,
I'll take it.
There we go.
We'll allow it.
Hello and welcome. Hello. Thank you guys for joining us to Total Spotfest for our annual Christmas edition, because next Wednesday is Christmas, and spoiler, we're not going to be here, so Christmas right here on Total Spotfest. That is Jamie. I am JJ. Very, very, very Merry Christmas wish out there to one Mr. Austin Reddick. Him and his wife are having to attend to a sick doggo, so much hugs and love. Please, I want to see them in the chat. Give some love out to Austin Reddick and Heidi Howitzer. But we wish you guys a Merry Christmas as well. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you giving us some of your time. Jamie, you said you're pretty ready for Christmas, right?
Oh, I've been ready. Yeah. Christmas is a very expensive holiday around the Faulkner house.
Well, when you have a small gaggle of little women to supply.
Yeah. The ladies in the house have expensive tastes. And I can't be too loud because they do watch replays on occasion and stuff, but Santa got them a lot of expensive gifts this year. Everybody should be very happy with what Santa brought them. If they're not happy, then they can just suck on eggs.
Exactly. Well, I love me some Christmas. Jamie as well. That's one of the things that bond us too. We both big Christmas fans here. So love Christmas. I am ready to go spend some time over in Central Kansas. Yay! I'm staying Christmas Eve at the Indian casino, or the American casino. So that's nice. Cool. I hear they have a ridiculous breakfast buffet, which I'm all for. So we're gonna find out. But no, we hope you guys, you hope everybody out there, you guys have great holiday plans, Christmas or otherwise. Don't want to exclude our Hanukkah friends or anybody else. But this
fun fact: Hanukkah starts on Christmas this year.
Mm-hmm.
It starts late.
Yeah, everything seems to start late. Like Thanksgiving was like really late in November. Hanukkah starts on Christmas this year. It's like everything. I don't know what the calendar's doing, but it's a weird year.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's a weird year, but this is your first time here. Welcome and thank you for joining us. We don't usually wear furry hats, but hey, sometimes you never know, right?
Nice.
Jamie does actually have an assortment of. Here's the funny thing: this is the truth of the matter. You actually have an assortment of hats you wear, particularly for this show.
Yeah. I mean, I got a couple. Three. I mean, definitely. I mean, we know I got the Marstradamus hat, which my wife, like, we were doing some cleaning down here. She's like, "What the hell am I supposed to do with this?" I'm like, "Leave it here.
You leave that where it is."
Like, when's the last time you wore it? I'm like, I don't remember, and it doesn't matter.
See, sometimes that'll get pulled out like 7-8 times in a month, and sometimes it sits there for a few. But that's not the point. Okay.
Yes.
The point is, it needs to be there. But
Hey, 70% of the time, Marstradamus is right every time.
Every time. Well, if this is your first time here, thank you for joining us here. We are going to get to wrestling in just a few moments. But if you are new to our little podcast, please consider coming back. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like. Give us a big thumbs up. Definitely helps us out quite a bit. If you're listening to us on Spotify or watching us, I should say, on Spotify. Do you know that we do videos? Yeah. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, thank you very much. Me and Jamie looked over the year-end Spotify Wrapped, and there's actually been some good growth on Spotify, so share with your friends there as well. Like I said, we enjoy distributing this and showing our stupid ass shenanigans to as many people as possible.
Yes, and then don't forget to give us a follow on TikTok while it's still around. My understanding is this is going away on the 19th or something like that. But whatever, we'll see. And if it's still around, ladies and gentlemen, give us a follow. We do post some fun wrestling videos of our wrestling escapades, even though I did not record 1 ounce of wrestling this past weekend.
And you only got 2 videos from last Wednesday, right? Did you get more than 2?
Well, yeah. I only did 2. Mainly because they're right there, and then the rest of the time I just wanted to experience it. But typically I'm always out there recording stuff. I'm I've been kind of taking a little bit back and more enjoying it instead of trying to get the clip. But I'm going to get back. 2025 is going to be the year of the clip, so I can really grow those little shorts and stuff like that.
Well, if TikTok goes away, I'm sure there's, we have other mediums there. Reels, there's also YouTube Shorts we need to really look into. Anywho.
Yeah.
Follow us. Our socials are down below. We're also on Blue Sky, same as Twitter, Total Spotfest. Okay, so we're doing Christmas.
However Ricochet did
it. Put a pin in that, because that was not a sound I expected to hear coming from my TV. All right. Well, it is Christmas. We usually do some sort of gifts. We weren't really going to do gifts this year. And then one Miss Jamie Faulkner. So we're going to talk about it in a second, but Jamie and I and his daughters, 3 of his daughters, we went to Heartland Championship Wrestling on Saturday night, last Saturday in Leavenworth, Kansas. My first experience at HCW, very enjoyable. I got there a little late, but I got there right as I should, right during the Holiday Battle Royal. Or the holiday scramble of whatever. I don't know. There was a gift wrap table, and instead of tax, there was a stocking full of Christmas canes. So all good.
That was me. It was just me letting Alex know Austin know that he can.
Yep. So anyway, okay. But it was good. But we were given, both Austin and myself, by a little white envelope here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so shall I go? So we see what we got here?
Absolutely.
All right, so we got a card in here. Merry Christmas with a little rockin' Santa. Can you hear that?
No, they can't hear it, but it's playing Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Ashley. So he's getting rickrolled right now. But it's signed How's it signed, sir?
Forever and ever, Merry Christmas from the FWO. Jamie, Jessica, Bailey, Audrey. You got your fucking wife to sign this?
Absolutely. She's a part of the FWO.
And then your daddy. And now it won't stop playing.
Yes, that thing's never going to stop till the battery dies. I mean, if you want, you could try to rip out the battery.
I just buried it. It's fine. I can still hear
rip
it.
Out that battery, but I can keep going.
I can still definitely hear it. So, oh my God, really? Is that seriously like this? Is like the card will not stop? Is that like how this card is?
Yep. But you can try to rip out the battery. Nice. He's cutting it.
Oh my God, there's fucking glitter inside of this. What the fuck? You. Wow. Wow, Jamie.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
That is arguably the greatest card I have ever seen in my entire life. And shout out to Joker Greetings. They have not sponsored this by any way, shape, or form. I mean, we're not cool enough for sponsors. Actually, we got something about sponsorship, but that's fine. But no, it will have in there, like, you get to sign it and you close it and you rip out the thing, and then it'll just, as soon as it opens again, it'll just keep playing. They have like 4 or 5 different songs. And then, like, if they try to rip it open, it's got glitter everywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas from the FWO to one JJ Proudly.
I don't even hate the Rickroll. I don't hate the troll signature from Megan. But the glitter, god damn you. I just cut
Why
the
do you think I kept telling you? You can just cut out you can just rip out the battery.
No, you can't. This battery is basically embedded inside.
It's soldered in there.
It is. I would have to like disassemble. So I just said, fuck it. And I just cut these wires here. I was like, I know.
That will stop it.
I know electronics. I know if I break a circuit, we're good.
So amazing.
Oh my God.
So
how about next year we do actual gifts again? Let's get back to that.
Oh no, man! I might try to get another one.
Oh my God, this was okay. All right, kudos to you, Jamie. That's well played, sir. Very well played. Oh my God. So I didn't get to go this year because new job, just timing and all this stuff. But every year, me and my closest friends, we always go to the Kansas City Repertory. I have glitter on my fucking beard. The Kansas City Repertory Theater's Christmas Carol. Right, so whenever they do the Ghost of Christmas Past, it's a big guy on stilts. He does the whole thing. Okay. And he has like they walk around and do like the actual glitter. He does all the glitter bombs and stuff. Well, for some reason, the past couple years, my best friend is the one who puts all the tickets together, and because he's been going to this since he was a child, right? His parents took him, and he's moved that tradition on to the new family, all of us, right? And the last couple years, and I don't know about this year, but last year we were on the edge of the aisle, which is right where this dude walked. We were covered in glitter. Covered. So the dude next to me, he was trying to hide, and that's a bad idea when you got a man who's looking to fuck with you. And then he comes to me and he goes, "That's a glorious beard," and he just takes handfuls and throws them in my face. So for the next 6 months, I was still finding glitter throughout my house, and we even like blew ourselves off and tried to clean it off there. I took all my clothes off before I entered the house, pretty much in the parking lot of the Rep Theater. Yeah. So, thank you.
You have to have ribs removed for that.
Thank you. Fuck you. Merry Christmas. That's the show, guys. See you next week. All right.
What's so great? Spoiler: Austin's got the exact same card. Yes. Again, Joker greeting.
I hope he opened it up just after you said that text there, and he's opened it. You know, if he opened it with Heidi. Okay.
Oh yes, 100%.
And you know that Heidi is laughing her ass off right now.
I mean, I certainly hope so. But yeah, so Joker Greetings got all sorts of great cards. So again, they are not a sponsor, but that was
they damn well should be. Oh God. Let's talk a little bit about this past week, because we got to see Austin twice live in 1 week.
We sure did. We absolutely did. We obviously we got to see him on Wednesday when we're all together at Dynamite. That was a blast. And then we got to see him at HCW Heartland Championship Wrestling at a free event in Leavenworth, Kansas. I actually said the right city this time. Are you proud of me?
There you go. So we did a real quick from the sweet live broadcast last week. For those of you who did see, for those of you who didn't, go check it out. It's a bit of a trade wreck. It's fantastic.
100% is, and I loved every last second of it.
Yeah. I have more thoughts on that, honestly, when we get to tonight's Dynamite. But do you have any thoughts you want to reflect back on last week's experience at the T-Mobile Center and Dynamite Live?
I mean, it was full of memories. That's probably the best way I could put it. Like, you know, we've done the sweet thing before, and I like the sweet. I honestly I like how I'm like with all my friends, and I think it's great. And I know some people are really into, you know, just the sweet life, and I appreciate that. But there's just something about being in the thick of it with the other fans and being a part of the chants. I feel like you're so detached from the chants. You're just there to enjoy wrestling, which, I mean, that's not a bad thing, but, you know, you're not there to experience it. That is my only negative, like, if that is a negative, because it's just a different experience. But I thought the memories of literally having Christian Cage and the entire patriarchy 6 feet away from me was absolutely amazing. Audrey was losing her mind. Megan lost her mind. Jessica, Bailey, everybody was.
Megan's boyfriend, who was at his second ever wrestling show.
Second ever.
If you go back and watch the YouTube video that was AEW put out, you'll see he by far was the most mind blown of all of us.
It was. Yes. I mean, that's probably the best way to put it
up as we speak. Yeah, I mean, I was a pane of glass away from Christian, not just, you know, because we were the same way when we went to, you know, meet and greets and all, whatever, right? You know, literally him doing a fucking, you know, promo, a pane of glass between me and him. It was it, and then oh my God. So that made up for it. I think, and me and Jamie talked about this. I think that for the next show that we go to, for big show like AEW, right, we're going to get back in the crowd. We're going to try and get floor seats, because we've actually never gotten floor seats for an AEW show, right? We have for WWE, well, seat filler, that counts, right?
Well, NXT too.
NXT we got front row on the entrance, okay? And of course we've done it for indie shows, GCW, all that, but we never got floor seats up close for AEW. And I think especially with like Ospreay, Ricochet, all those, right? I think we need to shoot for that next time. So
yeah, no, it was so much fun. Like, the girls lost their ever loving mind. Like, Audrey was like on cloud 9, and she was on you know, like in the pictures and everything. And then some lady on Twitter, I can't remember who it was, goes, "This girl right here just losing her mind watching Hook just beat the shit out of Christian." Like, and then like it had like over 40-something thousand views. Like, she became Twitter famous,
which sent her off on a tangent. She was vying a mere minutes ago, to be the new co-host of the show. For those of you not in the know, Jamie had to be like, "Go to bed. You have school tomorrow, right?" Do I have glitter on me? I have glitter on my ass. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, you probably got a lot of glitter on you. Just to be fair. Yeah. Over 44,000 views, 1,300 likes of the picture of Audrey. It's on our Twitter right now.
I just cleaned my floors the other day, dude. Serious.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, it trust me, it was a good one. It was worth it. Yeah, and then it was my first experience at HCW. You know, you've gone out to Leavenworth a few times already.
Yeah.
Jamie and I talked. We want to go down to Wichita because it's like that's their home base, right? So that's I think where you're gonna see the more ardent fans. You know, it was good. It was a free show. It wasn't a massive crowd, but it was bigger than I thought. To be honest with you, there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few hundred, not a few hundred. There's probably 100 or so.
Yeah, I mean, nice. Austin made it sound like there was like 15 people there, right? Which there definitely wasn't. Now, they did thin out a little bit, and that's kind of the shtick of the family show, right? If you go, and they started at 6, so, and they go a very tight 3 hours. So, but even at that, near the end, they did thin out a little bit since the families that were absconding, you know, which you're going to get some of that. But it was very enjoyable. It was very good. It was one of Mr. Tommy Too Good's birthday, so I had to, we had to represent there.
Yeah, I got him a birthday present of some Coors Banquets because that's his favorite drink of choice. Yeah, but it was a good time. The girls had a good time. They were trying to yell at people. They were hoping to see Ray Leon, but he was not there this time. So hopefully when we go out to Wichita, I assume in January the girls are gonna make me go out there. Yeah, we'll definitely see him there and give him a bunch of crap.
Nice, Rob. Yeah, that means you can write that off too. So there you go.
100%. He made it a working event. That's so good.
Kudos to you, Big Rob. All right. So besides that, there was a lot that happened wrestling wise in the past seven days, Jamie.
Yeah, and you know what? I only have 2 words to say. Just 2. Winged Eagle. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
Austin replied to our group text.
That's the greatest card ever. He hasn't tried to rip it open yet.
Let him suffer for a little. Let him suffer for a little bit.
It was so refreshing to see the Winged Eagle on live television in a WWE ring. It made my heart very, very happy. I mean, if it was that, there's only one thing that upstaged that moment for me.
Yeah.
That's Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green becoming the inaugural Women's United States champion.
In a hell of a match, too.
Oh, it was great.
It was a fantastic. I went back and
watched it. Her prettier was amazing.
Oh, dude. She jumped over in it was like the reversal into an unprettier. It was so good. Kudos to Chelsea Green, who is now one of like a very short list of people who have been a champion in both TNA and WWE, which I found very interesting. That list is like not nearly as long as you would think.
Wouldn't it just be Samoa Joe and AJ Styles?
Bobby Lashley's on there too.
Yeah,
Kurt Angle, but there's a couples, but there's not many. And I think for women, it was like a one of 5, right? You had Gail Kim, Mickie James.
Well, those are all people. How many people from TNA to WWE, not WWE to TNA?
That's a great question because that's a
deep cut.
That's a very good. And type in chat if you know any. Throw them out there. Jamie's already named 2, right? Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. We got Chelsea Green. Throw them out there if you guys know any other ones, men or women. So, and I like they did a lot of nostalgia with it. The Winged Eagle, of course, was the creme de la creme.
Technically, you could say the Motor City Machine Guns. Now I'm thinking about it.
You can.
Who lost to DIY? Who turned heel?
Oh, I love it. Johnny Gargano heel turn was so good. Like as much as we should, and we have said before, like the new WWE is so much better than the old one, but they definitely run into some ruts here and there, right? The whole Wyatt 6, whatever the fuck happened to them?
Yeah, they burned out.
Who called that?
I mean, everybody called it. I was just trying to hold out hope.
You were arduous at that. Like, no, this is going to work. You're trying to make it. You're trying to make fetch happen.
I was trying to will it into existence, dude.
You were
and the will didn't happen.
Which I could respect that, but yeah, fetch didn't happen. But for the most part, there's been a lot of good stuff that they have been doing, and my God, like, just when you think that DIY is going to fall into like mid-card hell, no, they do a beautiful Johnny Gargano heel turn. It was so good. It was so good.
WWE right now is pretty damn solid. And some people are calling for, after Saturday night's main event, Codelander to show up.
I mean,
perfect.
I think that here's the thing, because, you know, the hope was you have Kevin Owens go out there. He does, after he loses, he goes batshit crazy. He does the package pile driver, which apparently like bruised the spine of Cody Rhodes, right? 100% that's a work. 95% that's a work, just in case. But he's getting cheered they're cheering their asses off for him, which is not what you want. So I think, yes, do the Codelander stuff, right? Because I read some people, you know, pontificating about is very similar to the end of Cody's AEW run, right? And it's nothing wrong with what he's been doing, but it's very much a one-string banjo since he's come back. He hasn't done anything character-wise different than be the I'm just Cody Rhodes. I'm the guy. Love me.
Hot take. He's boring.
It only lasts. Yeah, I mean that note only lasts for so long. He has not changed up his stuff since he was in the Bull Club.
Yeah, I mean, no offense. I love Cody. I do. I really do love Cody. But his shtick is boring. It's the same thing. No matter who he's fighting, it's always rinse, repeat. Like, remember when we got that way about MJF being boring because there's always the same thing, and now he's kind of finally starting to rework his stuff, and it's like, there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like,
and you don't have to veer off the overall arch, right? But you can vary a little bit. The Bucks can do it. Look at Jay White, for God's sake, right? Jay White's not face now, but he's still kind of veering in the same direction. Cody is a straight goddamn line. Ever since the Bull Club, he's just been, this is me. I'm American hero, Cody Rhodes. Yay.
It will not turn, ever. Because his dad never turned. But his dad did turn, because his dad was part of the NWO, if y'all remember.
His dad did turn. Well, and his dad had depth to him in a different, you know, it was a different type of wrestling, you know. But his dad has a depth to him, even though he never turned.
He had charisma oozing out of every orifice.
Oh, my God. Dusty was...
And I'm not saying Cody doesn't have charisma, but he doesn't have his daddy's charisma. And I don't think anybody ever will.
Nobody. Like, that's an unfair comparison of sorts, but you're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's not a knock on him.
So we'll see where they go with that there. I mean, there also was, you had a TNA pay-per-view here. You know, Moose dropped the X Division belt, said there's something else coming. So are they rebranding the X Division title into something different? I think that's a mistake.
They did a lot of dumb things on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, you're looking at one thing in particular, which was a return of somebody.
Yes. So when you look into the current culture of wrestling, there's a few things that aren't really allowed now, like guys who did bad things to women, and out and out bullies and racists, right? Like, those people just shouldn't be wrestling on our TVs. I feel accurate.
That's a very accurate statement of what should be happening. Yes.
Well, TNA decided to say F you, wrestling fans, and they have rehired Tessa Blanchard to put her in a program with Jordan Grace, who has gone on the record to say that she is not happy about it. And my understanding of the overall reaction from the crowd was not good.
I mean, you're trying to get cheap heat accomplished, but
I don't know, man.
This is the one time. I mean, I did call this. I said that someone's gonna, like, I said Tina will probably bring her back at some point. Watch, they probably will. And, you know, like, no, she's canceled. She's done forever. I go,
not to TNA, especially not the new folk.
And I'm all for. Trust me, I'm not trying to say nobody deserves a second chance. Okay, I'm not trying to be like that. for the record, Tessa Blanchard has had multiple second chances and did not improve that trajectory at all. So, we're in a world where Hulk Hogan still exists, but he has been distanced by the wrestling community for the most part. Thank God, right?
I mean, he's an out and out racist.
Yeah.
And he's like doubled down on it recently. It's like, oh no.
Oh, he's going. Yeah. So
don't you know when to shut up? He's like, no,
not Terry.
No, he's like, I didn't do any of that. And then he goes on to the thing. Oh, I did all that. It's like,
I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I want people to change. I want people to understand their mistakes. Everybody fucks up, sure, right? But when you when you've done the same thing over and over again, that's what do you always say, Jamie? One time,
shame on me.
2 times is a
shame on you.
No.
Oh, you're talking about my other one.
Yeah.
You're talking about once is anomaly. Twice is. Damn, I haven't said it in forever.
You haven't said it forever.
Once is anomalous. Twice is a coincidence. 3
times the pattern.
We correct patterns.
So
that's words to live by, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see it. We'll see how things go. So anyway, that happened. So yeah.
Yeah. I figured we'd probably go off the rails a little bit about it, but I decided, you know what? She does not deserve my breath.
Nope. No, we don't. Shame on TNA. Is like, oh, that's a choice you made, and we're gonna see how it works. And hey, there was other wrestling to be had.
Yeah. You know what deserves our breath?
What deserves our breath?
What we talk about every Wednesday.
A little AEW Dynamite.
AEW. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and nondescript people. I just want to make sure I get everybody. My goodness. The wrestling was really good. Storytelling was but the wrestling was really good. It felt like an old school AEW show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you thought.
So I'm going to get this out of the way here. So I want to put a pin into a little bit about the atmosphere from last week. I definitely want to bring that up to kind of just get it out of the way. Because it's very apparent from seeing that was not a very high gate when they have the entrance basically on top of the ring. And they were doing very creative angles. And yes, it is a week before Christmas. This is not a great time to be doing a live traveling wrestling show, right?
Agreed.
Hold that thought. I have an idea. But it's just, to me, so odd because I think that the overall storytelling of AEW, even though tonight was a wrestling heavy night with some really good wrestling, next week's going to be fucking bonkers. They have 5 Continental Classic matches next week. 5. Ooh, including Ospreay Brody King.
Yeah, they're taping it too, right? Because obviously it's not going to be live on Christmas Day.
I think so. I would hope so, but anyway, so what they got going on is probably been the best story-wise that they've been since they've been a company. We've talked about this for the last few months, and for those of you who know us know that we definitely favor AEW. JB and I both, and Austin for that matter, agree with the direction they move, the kind of getting into actual long-term storytelling and stuff. It's just interesting, the dichotomy of that with the way that live wrestling is just not selling right now, right? My thought is you need to rethink what you're doing venue-wise, right? Kansas City is a great example. Well, for us, because we live here, so we can speak very intelligently about this, right? T-Bubble Center is not a good place for AEW to go in and do a live show. Pay-per-view, sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Live show, weekly show, no. Cable Dahmer is a smaller, more intimate arena. I think that they can frame everything better because they'll have the same size audience. They won't have to worry about blocking off ridiculous areas of the arena. I think if they make it a smaller, more intimate crowd anyway, just kind of the way you set it up with, you aim for those size of arenas, I think there would be a better look on TV as well. Because to be fair, they're not looking to pay all the bills with the gate from a weekly show.
You know, they've already announced that they're going to go to smaller venues, right?
I do know that. Yes.
Okay. I was wondering, I'm like, you're talking like this is brand new information. I'm like, I don't want to be like,
no, I'm just saying though, I've been thinking about this for a while, because I think that, it's not a good time of year it's Christmas is a week away, right? I think one of the best things they did is that year, the first year after COVID, when they started traveling again, they spent the whole month of December in Jacksonville, right? Mm-hmm. I like that, because Christmas is going to be shit no matter where you go. Why struggle selling tickets in the middle of who the hell knows wherever and deal with travel problems? Just go to sunny Florida where it's 65 degrees right now and, hold up at Daly's place for a couple weeks. Cool. Call it homecoming every year. Who cares, right? You love branding your shit. But,
I do.
Yeah. I mean, but the show overall was... I thought the wrestling was excellent on it. I'm with you too. The promos got a little long in the wind tonight.
Yeah, here's the thing. As I'm getting ready to go through my notes, I do want to talk about the atmosphere of AEW. So, some people aren't liking old storylines. I still feel like they're still hanging over from the CM Punk issue. I really do.
Okay. I can see that.
People are like, oh, they're all on CM Punk's side, and then the toxic fan out there is trying to bury AEW. They just can't enjoy wrestling. They just can't enjoy wrestling. You know what? Like, if you just want to be a miserable person, just be a miserable person somewhere else. Like, it's okay to enjoy wrestling. We go to all sorts of shows, WWE's turned us back to liking them again, like I don't get it. All I know is their storylines right now are getting a little weird. They feel, this is going to sound terrible, but they do kind of feel Vince Russo-esque, in some aspects. And I don't want to give any kind of validity to Bischoff saying about the booking, because I don't think it's the booking. I think they just need better writing, and then things are going to go well. Like, they hit like that 4-month stretch of really good stories. Like, it was great stories. And then now it's starting to kind of go off the rails a little bit. Like, they don't know what they're doing officially with Mox. Like, this whole thing, and then it's just.
Well, but I feel like they got a lot of ingredients there. They're just not sure what cake they're making, right? Because you got some of this stuff that's really good, right? Like even in the microcosm. We'll talk about the whole show here, but the microcosm of Jay White and Hanger, that's some gold stuff you got going on, right? You've got Swerve, who is money, and everything you put with Swerve is great, but you don't have a definite direction. We got a little hint of one good direction you might go with that tonight, but the other side of that coin is a weird side. Tony Storm is not included in this discussion whatsoever. We will put her to the side.
We love that's the best storyline in all of wrestling.
I mean, but so you've got a lot of really good little pieces here, but it doesn't feel like it's feeling they took a bunch of Legos out of a bunch of different sets, and they're thinking about making something really awesome, but they don't quite know how to get there, right? So you've got these components that are individually nice, but where's the end result, right? It's a little muddled right now.
They have 5 individual lion robots.
You mean to tell me take 5 individual lion robots who become one giant lion robot? That's not the greatest thing you've ever heard.
Yeah. One super robot. What did I call him? Voltron. Fun fact, watched that live when I was a kid.
Oh, same. Loved Voltron.
Loved it.
You had all the lions too, right? You had to have.
Oh, okay. And all of them were metal, which was the coolest too. They were not plastic. Those boys were metal. They hurt when you chucked it. Like, I got one chucked at me. Yeah, hurt. But all right, so let's just go ahead and let's just knock out some of these matches. So The overall card goes as follows. Yeah, Mercedes versus Anna Jay, Ospreay-Darby, Shelton Benjamin, Beast Mordos, Nick Wayne and Christian Cage versus Hook and Shibata. And then you heard from MJF and you heard from FTR and
hold on one second here. He's not on the show live, but Austin did want to chime in. Quote, unless this was an intentional design, which would be hilarious in its own right, the little mechanism that made it play was messed up, so it played for like 20 minutes before I surgically removed the little speaker inside. Made sure to keep the card as intact as possible. We were dying laughing for the first 10 minutes or so.
yeah.
Austin, if you're watching and you missed the very beginning, that's by design, my friend. He must have gone from the front because he didn't say shit about glitter.
Yeah, I would say, was there glitter? I'm going to send it to him right now live. Was there glitter?
I kind of want to cast our group chat up on. I want to cast our group chat up on the screen here because he is so definitely. Literally, he said here. So unless this was an intent, so he's obviously thinking that this was a mistake, on his card that this shouldn't have happened, right?
No.
Which if he's not
I would
here,
never do anything like
but
that.
that makes even more sense because if you're not here to see the joke live in person, and have Jamie. I can get it. All right. Okay. Sorry. So go back.
And then, of course, the main event was the Death Riders versus Orange Cassidy, Jay White, and Adam Heyman Page.
All right. Where do you want to start?
So why don't we go in order of what we considered the worst matches to the best matches? So my vote for the first one we talk about, and then obviously I want to hear your vote. I want to start with Nick Wayne and Christian Cage versus Hook and Shibata. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's a good start?
Here's the thing. We had 5 matches. I don't want to call any of them worst because... Yeah, we'll go with that one because...
I mean, it was
of the 5,
least
that's
good.
probably the least good. The only thing I will say is one thing I got out of this match is that I want my eyeballs to see a singles match between Shibata and Nick Wayne really soon.
Yeah. So this match was fine. And I don't want to say it was a great match. It definitely is not a bad match. It's probably one of the better ones Hook's been a part of. I think Hook needs to be a tag wrestler for the foreseeable future till he can learn to wrestle a little bit more. But Christian Cage and Nick Wayne together are poetic. I loved that dynamic between those two, and of course you had Kip and Mother Wayne on the outside. We'll call her Martha.
Who we didn't talk about this live, but you see on TV, but you don't recognize that is a tall woman. She is built like a brick shithouse.
Martha is a big woman.
I mean, she is as tall as Christian, Christian's just a little bit shorter than I am, and it's like, wow, that's a tall woman.
Hopefully everybody gets why I call her Martha. If you don't know why I call her Martha,
speak real briefly about.
Do you like Batman?
I know that inside this joke. Speak real briefly about Nick Wayne. Let's pontificate about him for just a few seconds, because like I said, the match was fine. It was good. I agree with you on the Hook angle. Him as a tag team, fine. It's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, actually pretty good. All right, him single, not so much. But Nick Wayne, oh my God, we had praised them for doing the thing that they're doing when they started doing it. Hey, take this prodigy, don't have him out there, don't force him on us, right? Have him get beat, have him learn from one of the best, put him behind the scenes, right? He's been doing that. He's been working on his body, you can tell, right? He's definitely done some body work on him. I mean, but the growth of Nick Wayne, let's just give me a few words about Nick Wayne. What do you think about direction-wise for him? Because obviously one day is going to be a day that this breaks up and he's going to have to go in his own direction of stuff, right? So
100%.
What are your thoughts on Nick Wayne, what they're doing, what they're going with? Where are you at? Are you with me on this?
I think Nick Wayne is growing up in front of our eyes just like Billy Starks is, which # Billy's winning the title on Saturday. Fight me. She's winning. Like
Billy.
it's just happening.
She is such
They're
a
main
sweetheart.
eventing. They are main eventing. They're not just gonna main event if they're not having her get
Billy Starks is main eventing the Hammerstein Ballroom, ladies and gentlemen.
First ever Ring of Honor women's match to main event Hammerstein.
I mean, and me and Jamie met Billy many a times, and she is a total delight. She is. Oh yeah. Oh god, she's. Oh, I'm so happy for her.
I still remember when we got Manders to help with that one dude. It was like,
right. There was a. So did we ever tell this story?
Oh yeah, we've said it a couple times.
Oh yeah, all right. I can't remember if we told the story about the creep at San Luis Anarchy. So
yeah, that was a little weird. And he's all dressed up like a mad scientist too. It's like, okay,
dude was weird,
gotcha.
weird. Anyway, Nick Wayne.
Yeah, Nick Wayne. Growing up before our eyes, I could see him maybe end of 2025.
I was thinking 26 is what my brain was telling me.
Yeah, like that feels like
Wayne.
the year of Nick Wayne.
Yeah, because you got a lot of stories you can run here, but I think you can ascend him slowly throughout the year, and then break off end of 25, have him kind of go into something, right? You know, some sort of program, give him a minor belt, right? But you can put him up in there, and I think by 26 he can be a serious like mainstay.
I completely agree. He is the future, and
he's a baby Ospreay.
Well, no, he's not baby Ospreay.
Okay,
because we already have one of those.
Okay, fine.
If anything, he's more of a baby Ricochet, but yeah, he's a baby Ricochet because he's not very good on the mic yet. Which we're gonna get into that. I see him being something. Definitely. I think we all do. I think that's the big thing. But again, this match was fine. This was fun. It's setting up for more. Megan was full on expecting Joe to return tonight. And I'm like, no, Joe's going to return at World's End. It makes too much sense to have Joe return at World's End instead of just a random Wednesday. I mean, it was Holiday Bash.
We're getting updates from Austin as we get. Yeah. Most of the glitter had
fallen. Most of the glitter had fallen through the little space where the tab that plays the song ended up inside the card, which may be how it ended up getting rickrolled for 20 minutes. Like, no.
Let him know that was by design.
100% intentional.
Just tell him to watch the podcast after you. They're taking care of Pupper right now, but just tell him watch the beginning of the podcast. You will see.
Like, no, it's 100% intentional. All right, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just go ahead and right after that, you did have a moment where Ricochet was out in the middle of the ring and talking about how he came back to fight Ospreay and all this stuff. And then here comes the Hurt Syndicate. And I felt like they made Ricochet look like the biggest bitch ever. Literally tried to bury him right there, right in front of us. Literally tried to bury him.
Well, I think it's because they did. I believe the intention is to not to make him like the biggest bitch ever, but to make it. I think it's still obvious that. See, now I'm not sure because it's like it was so obvious to me from the start that Ricochet was bound for them, and he still may be, right, in the long run. But I mean, the way they did this tonight, it's a lot harder sell for me to believe Ricochet fits with them anymore, right? Like if they would have come out there and just kind of like ragged on him and he'd been like a little scared puppy, okay, that's fine. But he comes out there trying to talk. And this is what JB was getting at earlier. It's a mistake. He's basically confirmed that he's absolutely his demeanor for the last 2 weeks. We talked about this last week, how he was like kind of heel Ricochet, right? And we liked it, right?
Yeah. That's where he needs to be.
But he comes out and says it's all intentional because he's basically trying to get in with the Hurt Syndicate, which defeats the whole purpose of him joining the Hurt Syndicate. Like, he joins the Hurt Syndicate should be a shock and a surprise, right?
And the thing is he's had wars with the Hurt Syndicate. And then for him to literally fold as soon as he sees Bobby Lashley. Like, those two have went at it. But he folded every time. Like, he kept looking at him like a little baby. And I was like, what are you doing, man? Like, I was dumbfounded by this decision. I feel like it's terrible. Terrible.
I think you could have accomplished the goal you want by not having him get out there and try and kiss ass. They come out there and kind of scorn him, saying that we're not impressed by you, and he just goes, "Whatever, just leave me alone. I want, whatever, guys, right?" And then have Bobby Lashley kind of like, beat him, rough him up, and he goes off like, whatever, fuck you guys, I think you would have ended the same place, and it would have done better thing. But you have Ricochet out here being a whiny little bitch on live TV, which you then follow up with more later on when he's backstage talking to Renee, and here comes Swerve pulling up threads from his past. And I still don't know the sounds that came out of Ricochet's mouth. What is there an angle here? What is this? It's like, stop it, Rick. Stop it.
Is that 2 words, technically? I don't even know. But, yeah. No, he's a bitch. That's all there is to it.
And all right, so then let's move into Shelton Benjamin. That's actually a good segue.
Yeah. It's a perfect segue into that match, which honestly, if you're going down the list, I feel like that's the next one, right? And honestly, Beast Mortos looked so good in this match. He's really good in the ring. I don't care what anybody says, fight me. And Shelton Benjamin looked good. I did like how they did call out how Shelton Benjamin had a knee surgery of sorts. He had a draining and stuff like that, so he was not as agile as he usually was, which they did a really good job explaining that. Obviously, Shelton won. Shelton got 3 points, so he's up to 6 points now. But this match, I was a sleeper. Like, I knew it was gonna be good, but
yeah,
like Mortos really.
I mean, Mortos is obviously in this to be the guy who's going to take the L's.
Yeah, he's over. He is over.
He probably will be over the whole thing. That's kind of, that's how this shit goes. He'll win one to upset somebody's like point bid, right?
He's got one left.
Who's it against?
It's
next week.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Whatever. Mortos has always been great. When he was Black Taurus, he was great. When he's Beast Mortos, I mean, I've always liked this man. He was in TNA. I've seen him in AAA. He's a fantastic talent. So, and this match was very good. But I'd put it there on the list.
Yeah. After that, you did have FTR. We'll go ahead and just knock this one out too. FTR talked about how they saved Orange Cassidy from getting Drano thrown down his throat, and they're like, "Oh, well, we just saved him. You didn't have to cover our faces and beat us up and leave us out on the ground to die." It's like, dude, anybody would have done that. Like, come on now. Just hyping up their eventual match at World's End.
Fight for the Fallen.
Fight for the Fallen. Thank you.
So,
which will be simulcast on Max.
So they talk about that. They threw out some little nuggets about how they agree with a lot of what they stand for, which I thought was interesting, right? But then they had to attack them, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to be there and Fight for the Fallen, our hometown of Asheville, North Carolina, and we want you guys to come out. And they ended it with, by the way, we're not going to be out there alone. So Edge is back.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
He is literally their neighbor. Like, literally their neighbor.
Yeah, he lives there now, so.
Like, next door to Dax. So, anywho. Which I like, though, because that...
Phoenix.
What?
Beth Phoenix and China Shafir.
Yes! It's happening eventually. So, we'll talk about the main event next. How about that one, okay?
You want to go to the main event next?
Well, if we're replacing matches,
it kind of fits. Kind of fits.
It kind of fits. So
you see how I'm doing.
I see how you go. I see how you're going here. But my thought is, I don't think any of these guys are going to win the title, right? I don't know if Christian's going to cash it in yet, because I think by the time you get to the first of the year, Adam Copeland returns, right? With his buddies FTR. They're feuding with, the Death Riders. He's going to come up. Him and Mox. Hello. That's that Prince money. Put it on the poster. Let's go, right? They have a woman on their side. You need a woman on your side. Beth.
Well, hold on. Think about this. Adam Copeland wins the AEW World Championship. And who is there?
Christian.
To take it away.
That's the best person for him to cash that thing in on is Adam Copeland.
100%.
That is like the longest term storytelling AEW will ever have done. Probably unintentional too.
Oh yeah. Then you get back the go fuck yourself, which of course
greatest moment of 2023. So anyway, just throw it out
the
there.
main event was this chaos. That's probably the best way to put it. It was just kind of just nuts. You had a blind tag from Switchblade onto Hanger, so Hanger just straight left, which I thought was absolutely just dynamite. But then he comes back, and then there's some infighting, which allows Orange Cassidy to get rolled up, and Moxley seals the win. And then it is just crazy. This is where the storyline is getting weird for this one specifically.
Okay, so it's getting a little off the rails, but I'm not going to lie. I like parts of this a whole lot, right? I love the fact that Jay White's in here. I think Jay White is the star of this show, right? I mean, from the promo to start the night up through this, the very audible, because I mean, it's not a jam-packed arena, so you can hear him pretty well, right? But just the communication and some of the barbs he's taking at Hangman the whole time is glorious. We know that's the long-term feud you want to do, Hangman and Jay. But it's just, you're right. It is a little disjointed, I think that while on one hand, I commend them. I like the idea of not everybody is rallying to have it's not WCW versus NWO, right? It's this kind of disjointed, which in a way validates the story that Mox is trying to say. So I agree with you that it is a kind of little like hodgepodge, but I think it's hodgepodge in a good way.
Okay.
That's my take.
I'm hoping you're right. This is where I want you to be so right, but I just don't know at this point. Like, I legit do not know. I just don't. I want you to be right.
I'm with you there. There's a bunch of promos. Let's just bang on some of these promos here, man.
Okay. MJF comes out.
He's a fundraiser for a small yellow child.
But dude. So first off, shit's on Christmas because he's Jewish and like Hanukkah, like typical cheap heat. Love it. Big fan. Does it every year.
Shoots on Christmas
every year.
Makes fun of your local sports team. I mean, it's just like the cheap heat checklist.
The gift that keeps on giving, Clark. There you go. First movie reference of the night. Anyway, so MJF comes out.
Second, technically, but
I loved it. I loved the fact that he shot on little skinny baby armed Adam Cole, which was absolutely great. A little yellow.
You kept calling him yellow was the part that got me, because you've been just like ragging on his spray tan usage over the past.
Oh, it's been terrible. Like, he's been more yellow than my shirt. But anyway, like as we were saying there, then here comes Adam Cole, and he's not going to come to the match alone, and he's got the Undisputed Kingdom behind him, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, am I kicking your ass yet?" and then Adam Cole's in the ring, super kicks him. He ends up on top, so obviously he's losing. I think it's pretty obvious that MJF is going to win.
You know my stance. I don't care anymore about this, and I love Adam Cole. I love MJF. I am ready to be done with this. I don't care.
Again, weird storylines. Weird storylines. All right, so let's go to another. It was fine. You did have Jamie Hayter because Jamie Hayter did get attacked by one Julia Hart, which was great. So she called out Julia Hart. So she issues her a challenge. We'll see if she takes it up.
Fight for the Fallen is what she threw out there. So
yeah, fight for the Fallen
makes sense. You know me, I want to see it. I want to see Jamie and Julie go. So yeah.
You did see a Kenny Omega New Japan AEW Wrestle Dynasty hype up video, which got me excited.
Give me Kenny Omega back. Is returning on the 5th. Oh my God, I'm so ready for it. And his return match, guys. Let's go. Him and Gabe Kidd. Hello.
Yes. And the way that they've built that over in Japan has been absolutely magical.
Japan's been knocking it out of the water, man. Both Stardom and New Japan.
Absolutely, they have.
Great things.
Absolutely, they have.
Like this is going to be a good segue for us here. Did you catch, by chance, this weekend, the Kazuki Mercedes match?
Yes.
I mean, people were immediately saying match of the fucking year, not just women's match of the year. And I don't know if I'd go that far, but
yeah.
Oh my God!
You got Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay versus he's got like 7 on that list that are probably better, but definitely best women's match of the year.
Oh. You can't really mess with him and Daniel Bryan.
I know, but it's probably the best women's match of the year. I know it's fresh in our memories, but
yeah. But then obviously right after that, they announced that Mina and her gonna go against each other at Tokyo Dome, which had Mercedes in tears because she did not know about it until it got announced right then that was actually going to happen.
Announced with the dance off in the ring. So it's title versus title. So it's going to be a New Japan Strong title versus the Rev Pro All Women's Champ. I can't remember what they called that title. All World Women's Champion, whatever. All Britain Champion. I don't remember. But
give me Mina. We want Mina.
So Mina.
I stand for Mina on this one.
But do yourself a favor, if you have not, go look up that match from this past weekend from New Japan Strong in California. Trust us. It's good.
Yes. So, actually, that's a perfect segue. So, why don't we go ahead and get right into Mercedes versus one Anna Jay. And, again, Mercedes has been doing incredible work in the ring. Her gear, I loved her gear. I don't care.
Megan
goes, her gear looked cool. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like
it's Taya Valkyrie. It's basically Taya Valkyrie's gear, is what it was.
Kinda, yeah. Just a little different.
A little more cotton candy.
Yeah, a little more, yeah. And then you had Anna Jay looking like Anna Jay always does. But honestly, like again, Anna Jay, you can definitely tell Anna Jay's been putting in some work because this match was actually a lot of fun to watch. Both of them did really well.
Opened the show with it. The crowd was actually pretty hot on it too.
They sure were, man.
It's not all Mercedes. I'm gonna give Anna Jay flowers, right? Legitimately, at one point, I thought maybe they would put the belt on Anna Jay. That wouldn't be the worst thing ever, you know. And if you can, that's all you just want to create that little sense of can it maybe happen? You accomplished your job, and they did in this match. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah. I did like how they did have Stat watching it again. So then they're going to probably run back Stat and which is fine. Cause honestly, I think that's a good spot for Stat to actually take it.
I think so too.
Then you can move Mercedes up into the main event picture where she belongs.
Exactly.
But then, I mean, that's kind of getting log jammed because you did also have one Tony Storm. And this whole amnesia thing is the best thing in wrestling, period.
I mean, there were some questions about when they came back, and our first match was on Rampage, and they're like, okay, what are we doing with this, and then, but this whole amnesia thing, the interview tonight was amazing. RJ, it's so wonderful to finally meet you. Yes, okay. No, but 3-time women's championship. Oh, if only, God, that is the hope, isn't it? And he goes, well, okay. He's trying to like shake it out however he can. What about timeless? What about timeless? Because he starts throwing out opponents she's wrestled as Timeless Tony Storm, and she's giving them like 1-word answers. Like Mercedes Moné, and she goes, like the best
Legend.
or something. Legend. And
Yeah.
he's like, timeless. What about timeless? He goes, no. Tony Times. You got it wrong. You got it backwards. It's Tony Time.
Tony Time. So good. So good. Love Tony. Tony's the best. We stand for Tony. You did also have a King of New York promo from Chris Jericho, which honestly was pretty damn funny.
The piss-soaked streets of Times Square to the potholes of Jamaica, Queens, and it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, like the highfalutin Spanish Harlem was like, bruh. Like, it's so good. So good. They also had another Bandito vignette, which I thought was fun.
Mm-hmm. And then you had a old school. It's kind of was like old school WWE / old Mike Tenay, Don West, TNA, right? Yeah, a Shop AEW live promo, or recorded promo.
You sure did, from the Harley Cameron, formerly also known as Harley Graham. She sings a little song about all the 12 days of AEW Shopmas, and of course she pimped her own shirts. And Harley Cameron's just a national treasure at this point. I feel like we can call her that.
It is amazing. I never thought that I would be singing the praises of one Miss Harley Cameron, and here we are.
We sure as shit are, man. Because that lady is just something else.
Something else. That leaves us with one something else, if I'm not mistaken, Jamie.
We got two.
Got two? What's the two?
Nope. We got one. We just got one.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Match of the night, hands down.
So good.
And it's only because one party, not the person who won.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay.
Give some flowers, because they were well earned in this match.
Okay, here you go. Okay. Darby had a good match. Okay, there you go. Done. All right, let's talk about Will Ospreay now. Okay.
He had a good match because he's paired up against somebody where he doesn't have to just get his shit kicked out of him for it to make sense, right? It was actually a very just the pace, the kind of the story arc, the writing of this match was perfect for Darby, of all people.
They made Darby look good. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little pissed that Darby won. Little pissed because I want Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher for the championship.
Oh, I think we'll
more than anything in this whole entire world.
I think we'll still get that, but you can't have them both steamroll through this here and end up with 15 points, man. Come on,
dude. A collision course of the two best. Well, Kyle Fletcher can't get 15 because he lost. He lost to Briscoe.
To Briscoe. I understand that. They're trying to make you doubt. Oh, maybe we don't know what's going on here, but I think that the writing's on the wall. They're going to come head to head. And maybe Austin's right. Maybe it will be in the semifinals, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if they did that and then had Okada Ospreay or Okada Okada Fletcher has already happened, so it'd be Okada Ospreay for the championship. I mean, I wouldn't be sad.
Right. And if you do that, you have a reason for Fletcher to get involved potentially with that, So,
well, they're not allowed in the Continental Classic.
Well, they're not, but that's a good point. Yeah, touche. So, I mean, I think that it's still online there, but they're not going to write off Darby so early in this tournament. Not yet.
Oh, I'd be fine if they bury him.
I know you
bury
would.
him. Bury him.
I know you
bury
would.
him. He's not the golden boy. Yes, he sells merch.
He's not for you. He's for people like your daughter. Okay.
My 14-year-old daughter, not my 18-year-old daughter.
No. She feels the exact same way about it. But your 14-year-old daughter.
Yeah, he's just pretty. And he sells merch and he wears pink. And he takes a licking and keeps on ticking, he's a business. Old time act.
But this was a good match for him to have. Like I said, he's capable of doing some decent wrestling. He just needs to have an opponent that can do it too. And therein lies the biggest problem with Darby Allin, right? And even at that, he still tried to murder himself in the middle of this match. Like that coffin drop in the corner of the ring. Dude.
I mean, you had a Styles Clash off of the apron onto the floor. So you had a Code Red get reversed out of into a hidden blade.
Back into a secondary reverse into a Code Red again. That whole sequence was bonkers.
Like I am a believer of styles make a match, right? And the fact that Will Ospreay honestly said, "Hey, Darby, we're not going to do the match where I kick your ass for 95% of the time and then you find some way to just gut it out at the end. We're not doing that. No. You're going to get some offense in. I'm going to get some offense in. And it is going to look like a real match." And Darby's like, "I don't know how to do that." But you know what? Will Ospreay showed him how to do it because he's done it a couple times. I mean, great dance partner for Darby because Darby did look like $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and there's some that him and Jack Perry have been able to do that. They've had matches that have been very good, right?
It hurts to say,
but it's just so partner specific for him. I think that's the part that really gets you. Ospreay goes out there and it's a banger every time. Boom.
Because he's a chameleon. He can work with anybody in any style.
Right. Okada, same. Moxley, same. Jay White, same. Hanger, pretty much same, right?
Yeah.
Darby, he needs to have somebody, or it's kick the shit out of Darby for 95% of the match. Maybe he wins, maybe he doesn't.
He's like Russell Wilson without a quarterback, or without a wide receiver that can actually catch the ball. Because without one, he's mid as hell. But once he's got one, homeboy's pretty solid.
It's not wrong.
I'm giving you flowers right now.
You're not wrong. I mean, yeah. That's the most accurate and somewhat a positive Steeler analogy.
I mean, you won't get one next week from me. You won't get one next week.
I know. Next week's going to be very interesting. Well,
we got Carson Wentz probably starting this week just so we can have him for next week.
Well,
so we can lock up the one.
You have no reason. Let's be real. And if you guys win, Carson Wentz should play the rest of your regular season snaps. 100%. Just saying.
Well, if we win this week,
you won't need to play starters for the next 2 weeks because you've got the number one seed locked up.
No, we will have.
That's right.
We'll have the 2 seed locked up because
Buffalo's got head against you.
3 losses. So if we lose 2, then we're gonna be tied. They have the head to head, then they would be the 1, and then we would be the 2. So we have to win 2, or we have to win 1, and Buffalo needs to lose 1. One or the other.
Do you really think you're going to have a problem with Denver? No, I know they should have beat you by a field goal, whatever. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe because if we win this week, which I think we will.
You're at home. You probably will. I mean, the game in Pittsburgh, it's in Pittsburgh. So that's the question mark, right? Here's
the thing. If we win this one and somehow Buffalo loses, then we're fine.
You don't have to worry about it.
We don't care.
We don't care. And the Steelers, we just need to beat Baltimore this week when we lock up the North. So, which probably
that's the thing. Yeah,
probably puts us cemented into the 3 spot no matter what, right? Because I mean that loss last week is bound to happen. The Eagles are really fucking good. Anywho, sorry, we were going off a tangent here. We're at the football yet.
Hey, we didn't lose to Baltimore though. I mean, we didn't lose to Baltimore, or we didn't lose to Cleveland either.
Oh, we beat Cleveland once already. So, for okay, you've only lost one game all season, so the we didn't lose card, it loses some of its luster, Jamie. Okay, you guys should have lost about 5 of those fucking things. First of all, let's be honest.
Hey, that's what champions do.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see about it when it comes down to the end. Yes,
I want New England. I'm pulling for New England. I'm a Patriots fan this weekend. That's all that matters.
yeah. Good luck with it. This isn't 2010, so good luck with that one.
Sorry, guys.
So next week is the Christmas. So we got a pretty big collision they got after the college football playoffs this weekend. And then next week they have Christmas, which is like their Christmas show's got 5 Continental Classic matches. And then next Saturday, that's the go-home too, because next Saturday is the pay-per-view. So
yeah.
I mean, we're going into it pretty quick, and I don't feel like they're really ready for it. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're kind of doing that last minute rush job, but I feel like everything should have been like already laid out there. I don't know. Like, I mean, there is some stuff like we got the 4-way for the championship. You got the Continental Classic semifinals and finals. So that's 3 matches right there.
Right.
Plus that one.
I mean, for what it's
you have
worth,
a women's match in there.
There's gonna be a women's match. I think it's a Mariah May match, right?
Yeah, and
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, there's a reason WWE basically took off December for all those years, right? It's a weird time to do live wrestling because there's so much other stuff going on, right? I mean, the sports world's attention's focused on college football, bowls, championship, NFL playoffs, regular season's coming to an end, right? You know, you have all that stuff going on. Christmas, New Year's, you know, all these other things happening. So it's a kind of weird time for them to focus still on having a pay-per-view. But, I mean, it is what it is. We'll still talk about it. We'll still make our picks next week, and we'll see what happens with it. So
see if Megan can hold on to the belt or if it comes back to
2025 is the year of the J Money Club. It's gonna just live
that's
in
what
this
you've
house.
said for the past 3 years, man.
Shut the fuck up. This is the year of the J Money Club. All right, let's talk
man, which I am.
Let's talk some fantasy football. All right.
Yeah, we were on a bye. The end. Oh wait, you weren't.
I was not.
You're projected to lose too, which I thought was great.
I was absolutely projected to lose. Okay, I was checking Bowls scores before we started here, so let me close this out. Ooh, that's a close game. All right. So, we had the playoffs start this past week. 4 of us had to have and again, apologies for the camera. I'm not going to go through and fix it because Austin's not here. Just bear with us, okay? 4 of us had matches in the first round. Big Rob and Curtis. My God, the closest game this entire season for this league. Like, I ended up being out Chase. You know, that was good. I'm moving on, facing Megan. But let's just give some flowers here. Because Big Rob, your guy you had play Sunday night got 2.4 points. And if he got 2 points, you would have lost. How is that for unbelievableness? 0.2 points. 0.2.
0.2.
So that does put us in next week. And we talked about doing prop bets, but with the holidays and all this other stuff going on here, it's too much going on. We're just going to keep it straight. Jamie's really big on this because him and Austin both scored over 200 last week, even though they didn't play anybody. So
yeah, there was I had 221.2. He had 228. So if we went head to head, it would have been a clash of the ages. It would have been the no punt game for all of you. All of you people who know that.
It would have been. What was that game? Was it Texas? Actually, I think it was when Patrick Mahomes was in college. Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, wasn't it? Or
yeah, well, no. I'm referring to the no punt game of 2003 of the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh,
and
okay.
Peyton effing Manning.
I was thinking of
that's our defense was god awful.
I was thinking there was a college game that it was. I think it actually might have been Oklahoma. Total. But it was. I remember when Patrick was a senior in college. It was like 56-52 or something stupid like that. It was just insane.
Yeah.
It was
cool.
All right. So we got quarterfinals this week here. So Big Rob, your congratulations on moving on. Your reward is number 1 seed Austin Reddick. Hey, you never know. We're getting into the season. Some people are going to start sitting. Some people are going to prepare for the playoffs. Who knows? Who knows, right? Jamie, you got Heidi Howitzer and her Bears, so there's that. Lord knows what you're going to get on that team. She is the most feast or famine team. She can score 150 points or 75.
Well, I'm hoping she has famine this week. I mean, the Bears keep firing people left and right, and they are going up against Detroit, so I'm feeling kind of hopefully lucky that they will just break it.
I don't want to, shit in your Cheerios, but you know how many people are healthy on Detroit's defense? About like 3. So there's that.
Yeah.
We got Curtis going up against Tommy Too Good, the birthday boy himself here, and then your boy gets his rematch against the tyrant Megan Faulkner. So we shall see if we move on. Now, if you notice the bracket here, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this briefly a couple weeks ago. There is a 0% chance that Austin and Jamie meet for the championship. If they both win, they face each other next week in the semifinals. So
0% chance.
I think it's perfect time for the underdog story. I think it's time for the 2006 Steelers come from the 6th seed all the way up to get that Super Bowl win in Detroit. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
Dog.
All right.
Well, I am on a collision course. I have to beat Heidi. I have to beat Heidi.
Have to beat Heidi.
My rematch. I've not beat Austin this year. And both times he has absolutely annihilated me. He's the only team who's legit annihilated my team. I want this rematch. I want to beat Heidi so I can get this rematch.
Rob, if you're still there in chat, you could play spoiler, man. You could disappoint Jamie. Because if you do, or Jamie somehow loses to Heidi, what does Austin have on you, Jamie?
3 wins.
Yeah, that's called bragging rights.
I beat you.
Once. I beat you.
Once. Just like how you just said, like, I beat the Browns. You're like, we beat them once. It's like, come on, you can't you can't just pick and choose when it's positive.
I can too. It is positive. You did beat me, but I beat you too.
You barely beat me. I did not barely beat.
Hey. I speak in wins and losses. I don't speak. There's not a win, loss, and ugly win category. There's just a win and a loss category. All right.
Dude, you know what? I would love it to see a Big Rob just like his team goes absolutely apeshit and like Austin's team, like 3 people get hurt.
I mean,
so he goes down.
Rob, it's not like you've won a couple weeks there where you had big scores. So
yeah, anything's possible.
And who knows, right? That's the beauty about fantasy football. So we're getting nearing the end of it. It's a lot of fun here. We're going to continue that again next season as well, too. So any of you listeners, like I said, we open it up. We have listeners join in. We got some wrestlers in there as well. We'll expand it if need be, but we have a lot of fun doing it. So
for sure.
We will not be here next week to give you an update on that. So enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. First day of Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, you please enjoy it. Be safe out there. Spend time with your family or away from them. I don't know you. Whatever you want, right? Whichever way you go. Whichever way you go there. Just enjoy it. Be safe out there. Thank you guys for joining us here. We will be back. Thank you for joining us for another year because the following week is the 1st of January. So this is our last one.
We're not going back till 2025.
This is our last 24 one. So good rest of the year 2024. It has been a year, that's for sure. So, yeah, we don't like doing the end of the year stuff, but just a couple thoughts, some highlights from the year, Jamie. Whether it's shows you went to, things you saw, matches, moments that stuck out in your head. Give me a couple thoughts for the end of the year.
End of the year review. I mean, we got to see some fantastic wrestling. The year of Will Ospreay. That's probably the best way I can put it. I mean, he had a match against Takeshita, fire. Match against Dan O'Brien, fire. Match against Swerve, absolutely beyond fire. I mean, you name
Fletcher.
it, he's got it. Yeah, both of them. Like, even the one that was on free for TV was even like ridiculous. Like, he did not miss. He absolutely did not miss. I thought, we got to see some people get really a lot better this year. Anna Jay got so much better. I want to give her some serious flowers for how much she did get better. Chris Statlander,
boy, he froze at like the worst time. He's froze too. Like, really froze. Like, I have to get a screenshot of him because that's a great face, and I'm 100% going to use that froze. Oh, hey, he's back. Hey, you froze like a son of a bitch. I got a screenshot. You look great.
I see that. Like, yeah. I was talking about Chris Statlander. I don't know what happened.
Statlander, I think what you were starting to talk about Statlander. And there was a small black manager that was not one to hear it, and he started nibbling on the internet cable at your house.
Probably, but yeah, like what she's done this year has been phenomenal with her growth. Kyle Fletcher, like there's so many great things, but like in person stuff that we've got to do, like the birth of Fountain City Pro, which was absolutely fun, and be able to do the pre-show for those guys. Going to see Heartland Championship Wrestling for the first time ever, that was absolutely a blast, and we're going to continue doing that. Thank you, Billy. And hell, seeing the return incarnate version of Journey Pro. Like, come on, man. Like, we've had a really good wrestling year.
I think we had a very good wrestling year. I think that, the show that's been out there, WWE's returned to a better form by far, right? Ups and downs, sure. NXT we've raved about for good measure. They've done some really great things, though, on the whole. Liv Morgan angle, right? With that whole thing. And, a lot of swings without very many misses, which is a credit to them because at the end of the day, they are the Yankees in the room. They are the big dog. It is true. And this is an industry of very few players, and it's good when the biggest biggest and baddest in the room shows up to play, right? But AEW's had a lot of great stuff happen, and yes, lately there's been some weird stuff storyline going, but hey, those things will happen throughout the year, right? You talked about Ospreay, you talked about some of the ascent of Kyle Fletcher to me is one of the big ones. We saw this coming for months, and it's like, this is going to be a thing. Keep an eye. This is going to be a thing. And then they made it a thing, and it was even a better thing than we even could have thought of it, right? I think that women's wrestling is doing fantastic stuff, mostly because of stuff like NXT. And we got to see a bunch of great independent wrestling. You talked about Fountain City. That's high on my list. Getting Mance Warner's blood on my shoes was great. Our return to GCW viewers. We went to that one GCW show, then talked about it for a while, and then we made it happen. And because we've gone to St. Louis how many times for Glory Pro and other ones, and it's literally the same drive for GCW. So, still love to see GCW in Kansas City, but lots of great stuff going on here. I think that wrestling's in a fantastic place. I'm really excited to see how the new kind of non-traditional TV wrestling takes off. Netflix taking over WWE, Max with AEW in 2025. So what does this hold for the future of wrestling? Does it change anything? So anyway, lots of great stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll be back in 2025, though. So 2 weeks from tonight, January 1st, we'll be back. We'll have results of the pay-per-view. So we'll have the belt. hopefully being ripped away from the FWO's cruel, Rick-rolling, glitter-filled hands. So, Jamie, Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Merry Christmas to all y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys giving us some of your time. Again, if it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like if you like this video. Share with your friends. Be kind out there, especially on the internet. Be safe this holiday season. Jamie, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. And if you're not down Total Spotfest, I got 2 words for you.
Are those actually words? Does that count?
Sure.
All right, guys. See you next year.
Peace.